Hi everyone, I'm Spider-Man 1991. Welcome to my weekly comic review where today I talk about comic books I read that came out on January 15th, 2014. Let's get started with the DC comics I read. First off, Superboy number 27. Pretty much Superboy discovers the person who's manipulating his mind being this woman named I hope I'm saying this right, Shiz, who apparently who's apparently not a full metahuman. She wasn't born with powers. She was part of this plan by some organization to fight the metahumans by creating their own superpowered humans. And eventually Superboy finds her when he's led there by Raven, who knows that this Superboy is really John Lane Kent. And when Superboy actually finds Shiz, they fight. He discovers her origins, and then she says that that they both want the same thing. They want to end the meta. They want to go back in time and end the whole meta problem before it begins. So she agrees. With the others that they'll lead their army. So she agrees. So she asks Superboy if he will lead them. And the whole time Raven's observing the event, and apparently she communicates with Trigon, saying everything's going according to plan. Okay. To be honest, this issue is written by Marv Wolfman, longtime Teen Titans writer. The guy does to be honest, I remember in a preface for, I believe, New Teen Titans, he said he enjoyed writing for Raven. So I thought, okay, those were some of the a little bit of the positives of the book. Thing is, though, everything in this book did feel a lot like it was jumping around a lot. Like 1 minute, Superboy's in some sort of telepathic induced fantasy. The next, he's talking to Raven, then back at the hospital, and it just felt like it was moving along and stuff. And also, I'm kind of not really sure how I feel. I'm kind of skeptical about how this is all going to work out, because what we got in the last issue was apparently maybe an illusion of Legion of Superheroes, and I guess with Teen Titans ending soon, maybe Raven will be involved in this book, in the Superboy title a little more after that ends, but I'm not entirely sure. But overall, I gotta be honest, Superboy number 27 is definitely skip it. Next up, Nightwing number 27. After they managed to free the people under Mad Hatter's control, Nightwing and Molly regroup, where she explains how she was once Mad Hatter's Alice, and that the next night they agree to go after the Mad Hatter and stop him once and for all. But unfortunately, Molly betrays Dick and knocks him out, leaves him with a bunch of security guards, and ends up taking out Mad Hatter. She doesn't kill him, but she does not manage to incapacitate him and steal all of his supply of cadmium, which she revealed helps her stabilize her whole multiple personality disorder. And also in this issue, one of Dick Grayson's roommates finds his Nightwing costume in his bedroom. So yeah, someone knows that's the problem with superheroes having roommates. Someone can figure out their secret identity. Okay, one of the things that I like about the whole Nightwing move to Chicago thing is the roommates. I like how, that's definitely something is going to be a problem for someone like Dick Grayson, who's a superhero, because it's going to be because it's, as we saw in last issue, whenever he tries to sneak back in his apartment through his bedroom window, it's always locked. And also now someone may just accidentally stumble upon his Nightwing costume. It's not really as secure as the loft he had in Gotham, but apparently that's the case. And But how did I feel about this whole, but I gotta admit, the whole Molly the Mimic thing, I don't know, it just felt like filler, that just felt like it was filler mostly. Also, I kind of wish we would go back to that whole ongoing story arc we have right now in Nightwing, that as a reason why masked heroes aren't around Chicago anymore. I hope we get back to start picking some pace up with that soon. I would really like it, because if you didn't hear, Kyle Higgins will apparently end his run on Nightwing, I believe, in April. It's either going to end before the issue before April, or it's either going to end right at number 29 or at issue 30. I'm not sure, comment below to be if you know the correct answer. But it's gonna end soon, and I really hope. And I don't really hope it's rushed or anything, but I really hope it gets some sort of revelation or progression with that story arc, because I would like to know more about that. But I would say Nightwing, even though this did feel like filler, I would still say Nightwing, this issue right now, it's just borrow it from a friend. Alright, now it's time for Marvel with All New X-Men number 21. Okay, props to the artist, because at the beginning of this book we get a flashback to the original Reverend William Stryker doing another anti-mutant God's Will religious rally, and the way they drew it was almost exactly like, it was very similar to the artwork that we had in the original graphic novel X-Men God Loves, Man Kills, the first appearance with William Stryker. So I thought that was a very, very nice way to open up the issue. But after that, it's just basically the Purifiers have the X-Men held hostage, X-Men break free, they fight back. That pretty much summarizes it. And also, the Purifiers did torture X-23 by showing her footage of her going feral during the Avengers Arena competition. So there's a nice throwback if you read that series. I would say that this last story arc with introducing X-23 the team, the only reason to get it is just because of X-23. If you read Avengers Arena, if you're a hardcore X-23 fan, I would say, pick it up or borrow it from a friend. But overall, this was just basically filler between Battle of the Atom and the Trial of Jean Grey, which is going to cross over with Guardians of the Galaxy starting next issue, which I cannot wait for. It looks very good. But right now, what I just read, I would say either wait for the trade, or just borrow these issues from a friend if you're an X-23 fan. If you're not, then I'd say skip this last story arc. Alright, Amazing X-Men number 3. Alright, this issue pretty much shows off why Nightcrawler is awesome. Most of the issue, Nightcrawler finally makes it to one of Azazel's ships. Storm is on it, though. He's able to save her, and he's just basically going all around the ship, teleporting, bamfing, all that swinging his swords, saving the day, flirting with Storm, saves the girl, all that stuff. Pretty cool. Also, to explain the cover, the whole Beast Unleashed thing, well, the issue did open up with Beast fighting Azazel, Nightcrawler's father, and it does look like, and Beast is able to hold his own until Azazel has one of the red bamfs. There's, in case you're wondering, the bamfs are like little mini versions of Nightcrawler, like little chibi versions of Nightcrawler, and there's red ones that Azazel controls, and there's blue ones that I think Nightcrawler can control. And Azazel pretty much has one of them teleport like a knife directly into Beast's back. Then Azazel pretty much kicks him overboard, and Beast is still hanging on to the ship though, but yeah, he's not in a good mood. No, Hank McCoy is not in. No, because when after Nightcrawler and Storm officially take over the ship they were on, they crash into the ship that Beast was on. And when they do, though, one of Azazel's men runs up to them and says like, "Oh man, he's crazy, he's losing it," and we see Beast, who is definitely living up to his code name. And the issue ends with Nightcrawler trying to calm him down. Okay, Amazing X-Men, really great. I would say this series is great for Nightcrawler fans. If you were sad he's dead and you're happy he's coming back, and I would say definitely pick up this story arc if you're a Nightcrawler fan. Otherwise, this is another borrowed from a friend. And speaking of Nightcrawler, he is this April. Peter Parker is not just the only hero coming back, because Nightcrawler is getting his own ongoing, and apparently it will feature Wolverine. And here's the real juicy part: it's going to be written by famous X-Men writer Chris Claremont. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. And if you have plans on checking that series out, I definitely recommend getting this opening arc of Amazing X-Men. Okay, next up, Daredevil number 35. We are just one issue away until this volume concludes, and then we get the new one that's still going to be written by Mark Waid. But right now, this issue is amazing. Okay, we got a call last issue. Matt Murdock got a call last issue saying Foggy had taken a turn for the worst. But when Matt arrives at the hospital, he discovers, hey, Foggy's getting better. Well, not really, because everything has its and this is something I really should have seen coming with the whole idea of the Sons of the Serpent infiltrating various parts of New York. Apparently, one of the members has figured out a way to help stabilize Foggy's condition, and also two other serpents show up, and they tell Matt that they need help getting one of the guy's sons off court, off of arson charges, because even though the serpents did burn down the building, this guy's son Donald wasn't there, and none of the other members can testify this without revealing their whole thing. So they asked Matt Murdock to do this. Otherwise, not only is Foggy's life at risk, but also Daredevil too, because apparently they've collected almost every bit of information about Matthew Murdock that can link him to Daredevil, and they've got a whole file about it, saying that they're going to release to the public, and not only will Daredevil's secrets be revealed, but also Matt could get disbarred. And so after that, Matt has time to think about it, and he speaks. And also, good news, everyone, since this is a Daredevil series, Elektra makes an appearance. So, and Matt and Elektra, they go on patrol, they fight some bad guys, and they talk about it. And Elektra reminds Matt that the best way she attacks is by going in a direction no one can guess, which gives Matt an idea. And so Matt goes to court to defend one of the serpents, and he has Kirsten McDuffie assisting him. But I don't want to give away the ending, because, man, you have got to read this issue for this last page, because it is great. Mark Waid has been doing a killer job on this title. He's been doing great. I mean, every time I get Daredevil, I'm always excited. This is the best. Everyone agree. Pretty much every comic review you check out, I'm pretty sure they're all going to have nothing but nice things to say about Waid's Daredevil. It looks good. Also, this whole thing about Matt being disbarred, it does kind of explain why. That's kind of another reason why the next volume is going to have Matt in San Francisco, because if he can't practice law in New York, I think he might be able to move to another state and take the bar there, and then maybe practice law in that state. I have no idea. I'm not a lawyer, so yeah. But overall, Daredevil, one of the best Marvel titles out there. This is definitely a buy. And finally, The Superior Spider-Man, number 25. It's the Avengers versus the Superior Venom. They've got almost every Avenger available trying to fight it. Eventually, though, Iron Man shows up with Flash Thompson. Flash uses the Iron Man armor to get close enough to try and get the symbiote off himself. It doesn't work. Otto realizes that the symbiote's taking control. He tries to fight it off himself, but he's not doing well. But only one person manages to get the symbiote off him, and that is Ghost Peter Parker. Yep, Peter Parker's back. The whole Ghost Peter plotline is restored. However, Peter's being smart about this. After he's successfully able to remove the symbiote off his body, and it goes back to Flash Thompson. Peter immediately goes back into remission, because he doesn't want to make the same mistakes he made last time. And of course, after the symbiote's off, the Superior Spider-Man makes another BS excuse as to why he went crazy. Because his explanation is that since the first time he met Agent Venom, way back in they put a little notation in Venom number 4, that he has been slowly infected by microscopic fragments of the symbiote. And that's his explanation for every single any out of the ordinary behavior he's been experiencing the last few. Ever since then, that's his explanation for it. Like, it's slowly been altering my behavior. And then when I got near it again, it finally took over. And so everyone kind of buys it, but they're all skeptical. And later at Avengers Tower, they ask Flash if the whole microscopic fragments are right, and of course course, Flash says it's possible, but I don't know. And, well, Captain America tells him, okay, just stay clear of Spider-Man from now. And then when they're talking about how they did run the test on Spider-Man saying he was normal, Iron Man asks about it. And, of course, Iron Man was in space, and he asked to see the results. However, when Tony checks the computers, he discovers that all the results are missing, and the security feeds and all the security footage from that day were erased. And Tony checks out who did it, and the person who did it was Spider-Man. At which point Captain America declares, okay, time to bring Spider-Man in. But of course, the action isn't just focused on the Superior Spider-Man in this issue. No, meanwhile, Carly Cooper has pretty much transformed into another goblin creature who's going by the code name Monster. Yeah, they really are. Yeah, I guess Osborn's scraping the bottom of the barrel for code names. And oh yeah, also the Green Goblin does say does tell her that he is Norman Osborn, but he doesn't take off his mask. So, he's saying he's Green Goblin saying he's Norman Osborn. I don't believe him. I'm not, and I agree with what Carly Monster, whatever the hell she's called now. I agree with what she said. She said she's not going to take his word for it until she sees him without the mask, and I agree. I don't know if this. I do think it is most likely Norman Osborn, but it could be someone else, and we don't know until he takes off the mask. And right after that, the Green Goblin then calls up the original Hobgoblin, Roderick Kingsley, and he basically tells him to surrender his empire or else, and then pretty much a gauntlet's thrown. And next issue will be a prologue to Goblin War. It'll be a prologue to Goblin Nation, which will be the War of the Goblins. And that's pretty much what happened in Superior Spider-Man number 25. Again, Superior Spider-Man, fantastic. I'd say another fantastic issue right here. Just basically the fact that it seems like Otto at the end of this is pretty much feeling in a good place right now. He thinks, oh great, I fooled the Avengers again. I'm winning. Yeah, no you're not, Otto. Pretty much next story arc, you're going down hard. We all know it. We saw the April solicitations, dude. You're going down. And Peter's going to come back. Question is, how? All I know is Goblin Nation is about to begin. I have been looking forward to that since the Green Goblin returned. I had a feeling that when the Superior Spider-Man would be facing the Green Goblin, that would be when this would be the moment where we could have Peter Parker return. And, well, this could be it. Also, Venom fans, if you are a little curious about what Flash Thompson's status quo is after the whole Venom ongoing ended, I would say definitely pick up this story arc. Also, Superior Spider-Man is still an awesome series. I've loved it. Dan Slott has done an amazing job turning one of Spider-Man's greatest foes into another Spider-Man. However, even though we all love Peter Parker, it's still been a very interesting series. I always say this, but Superior Spider-Man is definitely a buy. Okay, that's it for my those are all the comics I read that came out this week, and they toppled over. That was that loud sound you just heard. And that's pretty much it for all the comics I read so far. However, even though all the comics I just reviewed, I got them on Wednesday, there is one comic that I bought today, particularly today after I heard some good things about it. Miracle Man number 1. I don't have a bag for it, that's why it's still, and I haven't read it yet, that's why it's unbagged. But yeah, I'm pretty much going to read it soon. If you want me to do a review on that, please comment below if that's something you would like to see. Let me know if you want me to do a review of Miracle Man number 1. That would be greatly appreciated. Also, if you like my video, please like it. If you want to see more of my videos, check out the rest of my channel or subscribe. Thanks again for watching, and if you are already a subscriber, thank you for subscribing and sticking with me. I'm Spider-Man 1991 saying see you later.